Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon. Back to the days of the gold rush as Sergeant Preston with his wonder dog Yukon King meets the challenge of the Yukon. This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston. A land so harsh and wild that no man can live long in it and remain the same. It will either make him or break him. Yukon Camp, 15 miles west of Dawson, where a remittance man and an old sourdough learned this fact the hard way. Sergeant Preston came to Yukon Camp in answer to an appeal for help from an old friend of his.
Ho, King! It's up ahead, boy. All right, boy. On, King!
Whoa, whoa.
Gunfire in the name of the Crown.
All right, you huskies. Hey, Sergeant, is that you?
Mike, are you all right?
Don't worry about me. Get that prowler.
You're hurt.
Just sprained my ankle. I said, don't worry about me. Get that prowler.
First, let's have a look at you. Come on.
Doggone it, Sergeant. I sent me to hunt criminals, not to play nurse. Ow!
What else do these prowlers do besides take pot shots at you?
I bust up my equipment, take what gold they can find.
There's only one man on the ridge. Are there others?
Can't be sure. But I know who's behind it. I know why it's being done.
Well, the more you tell me, the quicker I'll be able to help you.
It's my brother-in-law, Ben Barlow. He wants my mine, trying to scare me into selling out cheap.
What makes you so sure of this?
Well, Ben and I never did get along. After my sister died, he come up here. And I put him to work on my claim out of respect for her memory. But it wasn't long before I had him tabbed. I shiftless, lazy, no good, and one day he told me we ought to be partners. Wanted half share of the mine. I threw him out.
Well, there you are. You'll have to stay off of that for a week or two.
Can't afford to be lying around. Found some gravel that looks promising. Now I gotta dig down to bedrock.
You need help, Mike. Ought to be plenty of young fellows around camp.
I can take care of myself. I'm just as fit as I ever was.
All right. I'll try to follow the trail of the man who fired at you.
Waste of time. You losing on the main trail back to Yukon Camp.
Well, then I'll look around town. Have a talk with your brother-in-law. Where can I find him?
Blue Moon Cafe. Got lucky at poker one night and won half the cafe off of Buck Egan.
I'll be back in a few days. Bring you some supplies. Now stay off of that, will you?
Don't worry about me. Just catch those prowling varmints. That's all I ask.
Okay, King, come on. Where have you been?
Calling on your brother-in-law.
What, again?
The only way we're going to drive that old geezer off his claim is to keep the pressure up.
I don't know. I feel like giving up. Wait till he keels over and dies.
We better give him a little shove before it's too late. I saw Mountie up there.
Mountie?
Yeah. Mike caught me prowling around. We were exchanging a couple of shots when I see this Mountie coming up the trail.
Were you recognized?
Nah. I think I might have hit Mike. Seemed a little hurt when I left. It's too bad I didn't kill him.
Now, look, Buck. What we're doing's bad enough. I don't want any more talk about murder. After all, he's a relative.
Like one of these days, the old boy's going to find that hidden lode, and then we're never going to shake him off his claim.
He'll not find it this winter, and besides, he's too old for much digging and burning. And by spring, who knows?
You're too soft. Thought I told that remittance man to keep away from my girl. How long has he been hanging around here?
Most of the afternoon.
You're so utterly, utterly fascinating, Sally. Will you marry me?
Marry you?
Precisely. I assure you I'm the catch of the season.
Are you kidding me?
No, indeed. I'm serious.
Well, when I marry, it'll be someone more than a remittance man.
I have $100 a month for life. It isn't much, but it is security.
But I can never respect a man who doesn't work.
I'm crushed.
Get back to work, Sally. You take care of the paying customers.
I find your attitude most disagreeable, sir. Do you mind if I borrow your rifle?
What's the idea?
Thanks, old boy. I'll not be longer than a minute. I'd like an apology, Mr. Egan. On your knees, you oaf, and apologize. On your knees and quick about it. All right, old boy. No further use for the rifle.
Better not.
It belongs to that gentleman just behind you.
This your rifle?
Yes, sir. Much obliged, old boy.
The idea of blazing away with a rifle in a crowded room like this.
Just teaching this gorilla manners.
Arrest him, Sergeant. He tried to kill me.
I beg to differ, old chap. I've never been known to miss anything I intended to kill, especially a beast.
You realize you're endangering lives in a public place?
Innocent lark, Sergeant, really.
Innocent my eye. I'm going to see that he goes to jail for this.
You'll be punished. Come along.
When a man was guilty of a petty offense in the Yukon, the police often set him to work on the wood pile for a few days, rather than letting him remain idle in jail. This was the punishment Preston imposed on Gerald Stanhope.
How you doing?
Hardest work I've ever undertaken.
Thanks for guarding me, Harry. You can go now. Hard work's good for what ails you.
Nothing wrong with me.
Nothing that a steady job wouldn't cure.
Dreadful thought.
He's trying to tell you there's nothing wrong with working as you talk.
Thanks. You're just a Monty at heart, aren't you, old boy?
You dislike hard work so much. Why did you come to the Yukon?
Scandal. The usual thing. Mine involved the death of a nasty chap who disliked me as much as I disliked him. It was a hunting accident, really. But to save themselves embarrassment, my family bundled me off.
You were innocent.
Absolutely. Although I'll admit my name was under a cloud when I left. But the police had insufficient evidence to hold me, so here I am.
You're an excellent shot, aren't you?
In all modesty, I must admit that I am. But then I'm pretty adept at all the useless arts. Riding to hounds, yachting, skiing.
You know, you might be just as adept at something useful. Think about it.
Tell me, Sergeant, why are you so concerned with my salvation?
Because an idle man can get into serious trouble in this country.
I thank you for your concern, Sergeant. You know, it might just amuse me to turn into a hard-working bore.
Back to the woodpile. Come on, King.
The sergeant's talk with the remittance man was all part of a plan he had in mind. That same day, he drove out to Mike Ferguson's claim.
Mike, I still say you're getting too old for winter mining.
The winter I stop working, Sergeant, that's the year I die.
But surely you must need some help.
I had some help from my brother-in-law. I did all the work, he did all the supervising.
I know just the young fella for you.
I don't have the slightest need for anybody.
He's good company, a fine sportsman, and an excellent shot.
Hard worker?
Well, yes, if he wants to be. You should see him saw wood. Well, if that's all he did is saw up firewood for you and keep an eye out for prowlers that leave you free to spend all your time working your claim. You're in danger, Mike, and while I'm in town continuing this investigation, I'd like to know that you're not alone here.
Sure I'm in danger. From my own brother-in-law. Why don't you arrest him?
No evidence yet.
Huh.
Sergeant Preston won old Mike over, and the remittance man reported to the Ferguson claim for work. During the next week, Preston stayed at Yukon camp, but the presence of the lawman and his dog King kept the troublemakers on their guard.
Well, enjoy your lunch, Sergeant.
Very good, Mr. Barlow.
Hey, I understand you got that remittance man a job at my brother-in-law's mine.
That's right.
Poor old Mike. Here he thought he had trouble with me.
How's Gerald doing, Sergeant?
Oh, fine. He's becoming a first-rate miner.
I'm glad.
I'll, be going out there in a few days. Shall I give him your love?
Don't you dare.
Should we go, fella? Huh? Should we go? Bye.
Bye.
Come on, King.
Hey, Sergeant! We struck it. Sergeant, we're rich. We must have hit the mother lode because the stuff is coming out pure gold.
Wonderful, Mike. I'm very glad for you.
Gary deserves the credit. He's the one that found it. I'm going to do things for that boy.
I knew you two would get along.
Gary's all right, even if he can't speak good English. Come, walk a piece. I'm going to the assayer's office to see how much this pay dirt is worth.
Mike's found a hidden lode.
Oh, coot, finding that hidden pastry. You don't suppose Mike has been holding out on me, do you? Knew about it all the time?
Hey, maybe. That's why he didn't want you hanging around, let alone make you a partner.
And me, the only relative he's got left in the world.
Spurred on by the discovery of a rich strike, the old sourdough and the remittance man worked night and day, little aware that their industry was being closely observed.
How about a hot cup of tea, Gerald?
Rather.
Well, I'll go get the water a-biling. Here, what are you doing? Diane.
No, Mike. Who did it? Who shot you? Mike. Mike.
Hey, what have you got there?
Your brother-in-law. Dead.
Mike? Dead? How'd it happen?
He was shot by a prowler who stole less than $100 worth of gold.
Prowler? Well, look, is there anything I can... Sure, I know Mike and I never got along, but he is a relative, and the least I can do is make the final arrangements.
Thank you, sir. He was like a father to me. Burying him's the least I can do.
Kill him. Why'd you have to kill him?
How else are you going to come by that mine, huh?
But murder!
No, I won't be a party to this. We're through.
Oh, Ben. Ben, you surprised me. You're the one that had the motive, Ben. Not me. You're the one that's going to inherit the mine. Not me. You're the one that couldn't get along with his brother-in-law. Not me.
Why, you...
No, all right. So I'm involved, but what do we do now?
What's the assay report?
Oh, better than $50 to the pan.
Let nature take its course. Comes to the fore, we'll both be millionaires.
Yeah.
While Sergeant Preston completed his investigation at the scene of the crime, Gerald was spending his time at the Blue Moon Cafe.
Mike wouldn't want you to be moping around here like this, Gerald. He'd want you to work the claim, just like always.
Well, if it isn't my old friend, the remittance man.
Please, Mr. Egan.
Well, that's a smart girl, Sally. I see you're sticking close to the ready money.
What was that?
Oh, no offense. I'm just repeating gossip.
Perhaps I'm being dull. I still don't understand.
How come the sergeant doesn't ask what you were doing when the old man was murdered?
Why, you load, Jerry, hold it. Let go, Miss Sergeant. No one's going to accuse me of killing my best friend.
It's not Gerald's fault, Sergeant. Buck Egan goaded him to it.
I'm sorry about this, Mr. Stanhope, but I'm going to have to take you into custody.
It's about time. Well, you got him in jail. Why don't you ask him how much of the old man's gold he's managed to stash away?
You tend to your own business, Egan. I'll handle mine. Come on, Jerry.
This is my notice, Mr. Egan. I'm quitting, as of now.
I hope you didn't overplay your hand this time, that's all.
Seeds don't grow unless you plant them.
This'll do. We can talk here.
Talk?
You are under suspicion, you know.
Do you believe Egan, too?
No, but neither did I find anything at the mine to prove you innocent.
Look, Sergeant, I didn't have to kill old Mike. The day after I found the pay dirt, he made me a full partner that might revert to either one of us on the death of the other. My share was plenty. I didn't have to kill him.
Can you prove this? Did he put it in writing?
He did.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
It didn't seem important.
Where is the document?
I left it at the mine. When Mike was killed, that's the last thing I was thinking of.
Well, precisely where did you leave it?
Let me see. I think I left the paper in the pocket of my working jeans. Yes, the back pocket.
Well, I hope it's still there.
See here, Sergeant. There's only one other person here in town who would have had a motive for killing old Mike. His brother-in-law.
Yes, I know. I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking how we might be able to find out about it.
Really?
Yes. Come on, I'll tell you. I believe it only fair to tell you, Mr. Barlow, that young Stanhope claims Mike drew up a document leaving everything to him.
That's absurd. He's bluffing.
If there is such a document, it must be a forgery.
Well, that's what I intend to find out. Stanhope claims he left it in the cabin. I'm on my way there now.
What about Stanhope? Are you still holding him in jail?
Yes, he'll be in my custody until the matter's cleared up.
I knew I couldn't be so lucky.
Oh, you're wrong, Ben. Men make their own luck. That's if they have enough nerve. Now, Preston stands between us and a fortune.
Well, you wouldn't, Buck. You wouldn't kill a Mountie.
Why not? As it is, I might hang for the murder of Mike. And if we don't get that document before it's recorded, the whole risk was for nothing. Now, Preston's after it. So, I'm gonna have to kill him.
Okay. No need to stay under cover any longer, Jerry.
Is this where I get off?
Not yet. Not till we reach the ridge. And remember, on my return trip, stick to the top of the ridge, parallel to me below. And if you're the skier you say you are, you'll be able to swoop down in seconds if I should need help.
Righto.
All right, on, King! Gerald was right, King. So far, so good. Now, if my suspicions are correct, the killers will be waiting for us on the way back.
Sergeant Preston was certain he would have to expose himself to the killer's guns in order to capture him. But he was confident that the great dog King, with his keen instinct to sense danger, would warn him in time. Once again, Preston's faith in his great dog had been reaffirmed. King sensed the presence of imminent danger in time to stop the team and sled while they were still beyond the range of the killer's guns. Now Preston had a chance to find cover and plan his next move from there.
Had it been for that dog, Preston would have come close enough for us to get him. Well, now it's a standoff. Get up!
I give up! Don't shoot, Sergeant! Buck's the one who killed old Mike, not me! I say, Sergeant, that's what I call a top-hole shot. He would have had me.
All right, on your feet. Come on. Stay, King, stay. Pick up those rifles. Stay, King.
Preston brought Buck and Ben to Dawson to stand trial for murder. Several weeks later, he returned to Yukon camp with an important piece of news for Gerald.
Come on, Daddy. See who's here. It's good to see you, Sergeant.
Hello, Jerry.
Of course you haven't heard the news. Meet my new partner, Mrs. Gerald Stanhope.
Wonderful. Congratulations to you both.
Thanks,
And I've some wonderful news for you, Jerry. I've a letter from London completely clearing you of any guilt in the hunting accident.
Jolly nice of them, wasn't it? We might go back there for a visit one of these days if we ever have time, darling.
You're right. It isn't polite to stare at honeymooners. Besides, this case is closed.